Hello and welcome to the Be Life Project for Bosses, Books, and Brunch. Today's discussion is inspired by the Mexican Gothic, and today's delicious recipe is from the book The Mexican Home Kitchen. And we are having the caldo de res, which is a beef and vegetable soup. I'm using chicken because I don't eat beef, and the recipe can be found on page 28. So go ahead and click the link in this video. It will take you straight to the page where you can purchase the book. Let's get into the discussion book. First of all, I have to say that thriller, sci-fi, fantasy is one of my favorite genres. I love it. I just love the thrill of it. There's something about being scared, traveling, and it's fun. It's very, very fun to me. Anyway, top 3. First, sex can be used to create spells, okay? This woman had a very clear mission. Go to this house, this big mansion. It was haunted. Come back to her father, report how her cousin was. She couldn't do that because of the lust and the convoluted desires, without giving too much away, that were of the house that deterred her vision. So, again, sex can formulate spell. Can formulate spells. It becomes so spellbinding to the point where you neglect your vision or your mission, or it becomes muddled because of that thing. Second thing is, anger is like a fungus that feeds on control and manipulation. Okay? There was a very specific character in this book, without me giving too much away, that literally controlled everything through manipulation, completely committed to his and her desires of what they wanted and not what whole individuals wanted. I'm gonna just leave that right there. My third thing is, spells create illusions, okay? The reason why a spell can seem or be very real is because spells are made of words. Words are life, right? So if we give our attention to a spell, that thing grows, the illusion grows, right? That's why it's always recommended that you combine both your human life and your spiritual life, because we are human beings. We have fleshly desires, and fleshly desires that are good desires, like sex, for example. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing when it's in the context of healthy situations, right? Not convoluted situations like rape, control, molestation, abuse, any of those things. Those are not healthy forms of sex, right? Another example is food, that like we're talking about today, which is very good, by the way. Food is something that we need, that we eat, right? To live. But there are gluttons. There are people who overeat, right? So it's not that food is the bad thing. Just like sex is not a bad thing. It's actually a really great thing. Again, when it's healthy. So, I love how the author used mushrooms, which is a really fleshy substance that feeds off of organic matter, as a central theme in this book, because the people who were in the house that were very controlling and manipulative fed off of very fleshly desires, like, again, something like sex, control, lust, anger, things that really don't produce life or happiness or joy, right? And they fed off of those things to keep this woman prisoned, right? And other people that were in the house. But what I love how she did in the book was she really let us see how love was the only thing that got them out and through the house, right? She had to surrender the love to win the fight, because she was trapped. They kept on, pulling away at these very human desires and building these illusions that were based in anger and lust and sex, and it just wasn't real, right? And it was pulling on her mind, and she was battling, again, that idea of battling back and forth between the spiritual and the very fleshly, the real life that we're walking through day to day, right? That's why, again, it's admonished that you have a very healthy spiritual life, because at any given moment, we can all make a fleshly desire that has a spiral down this path that is completely not good for us. That's why you have to have a healthy spiritual life. Again, love being a symbol of that, to keep you balanced and to keep you on your path or on your vision or your goal, which was her cousin, right? And bringing her cousin back home out of that crazy house. Now, I know there's a lot of different opinions and a lot of different views, but this book, while it's a horror story, is very relevant to the horror story that we're watching on Breaking News today, which is this R. Kelly trial, okay? There are a lot of different opinions about it, and I seen the documentary. And I'm going to tell you this, as a woman who has been sexually abused, I believe those women, okay? And I'm very glad that this enterprise has been exposed for what it is, okay? Yeah, I said it, and I'm sticking to what I said, okay? All right. That's for any of you viewers who believe the other stuff, but I'm sticking to what it is that I believe, all right? So, now, my question for you guys is, okay, first, close your eyes, okay? Are they closed? Good. Imagine somebody snatched you out of your bed, put you in a box, and buried you alive, and you died underground, okay? And then you made a connection, your spirit made a connection with somebody who was living above ground. Would you want them to solve your death, or would you hold them captive because you're angry and you want them to feel how you feel? Would you do that? Like, what would you want to happen? That's my question to you. Okay? And I want to hear from you. So, again, thank you so much for tuning into the Be Life Project for Bosses, Books, and Brunch. I will see you guys next week. Peace.